Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling at the moment? Today's topic is on where the focus goes, the energy flows. And this is true for all of us. When your focus is on something very negative, you tend to start feeling negative, thinking negative. And oftentimes we don't realize where our focus is at because it becomes such a subconscious thing that we don't always notice what we're focusing on and what we are directing our energy towards. Because it's our energy that will manifest our outcomes. Our focus will manifest our outcomes because we naturally look for what we already perceive, what we already understand, relate to, and understand as truths. But if your focus is always on the negative and life's problems, and yes, I absolutely understand. Life is unpredictable, life is difficult, life is turbulent, there's never anything guaranteed. But if you keep focusing on that, you are going to see life as a bad thing. And that energy that you make the shift towards these negative things, your energy will be depleted. You'll feel like, what's the point? So be mindful of where your focus goes. And focus is how we determine success or failure. If we focus on prospects or problems. And an important thing to note is what we focus on, we feel. What we think about most of the time in our minds will create an emotional reaction. And the more we think about it, the more we focus on it, the more we give it attention, and the more we sort of reinforce it in a way, then your focus will start actually derailing you from your journey. Because you're not focusing on the things that you need out of life. You're focusing on what you don't have, and that's the problem. So if you shift your focus, you shift the way you feel as well. We tend to attract more of what we currently operate out of. So it's very important that you become conscious of these things, of your focus and your energy. Because if you don't, you're just going to find yourself in an unconscious downward spiral. And as I said, we tend to attract more of what we already have. If you have depression, if you have problems, and you're only focusing on the depression and the problems, then you're going to attract more of it. Because we won't attract something that we do not believe is obtainable or doesn't align with us. We tend to attract more of what we relate to and what makes sense to us. So if you are thinking out of a negative mindset, then you're going to attract more negativity. It's about growing up and out of these beliefs and these mindsets and these rigid ways of thinking. And remember, your focus determines the quality of your perception, how you view things, what you determine as your own personal truths, your core values. And in that way, your perception becomes your reality. If you focus on negative outcomes, then negative outcomes are going to happen. And that's the thing. We think, oh no, life happens because life happens. Things are going to happen anyway. Yes, but if you focus on those things that are constantly bothering you in life, then you will struggle to direct your focus towards the things that bring you fulfillment and success. And also, it's important to understand that your focus uses a lot of energy. If your focus is on excitement and great things and future prospects and living in the moment, then you are going to generate even more energy and you are going to attract more of that mindset. And it really has an effect on how you function, how you wake up in the mornings, what you do during your day. But ultimately, what you focus on will determine the amount of energy that you have. Because if you are focusing on things constantly going wrong, your energy levels are going to plummet. You are not going to feel motivated or like you want to do anything or that you want to strive for a vision or success. And our focus can be incredibly constructive or incredibly destructive. And that's the thing. The more we focus on what we lack, what we don't have, the less gratitude we have for what's keeping us there, what's keeping us stable. And the more you focus on what you lack, the more you will lack. Because if you focus on, I have this and this and this in my life, and it's keeping me going and it's keeping me strong, and I have a roof over my head and I've got food on the table, and it's all contributing to my development. But if you keep focusing on the things that you don't have in your life, then you'll end up wanting more. You will be in a state of longing, and you'll find that you are lacking even more. And that completely ruins your fulfillment in life. Remember, your focus creates a mindset. What you give attention to, what you feed, will eventually manifest in your mindset. If you focus on positive things, you'll have a positive mindset. If you focus on destructive things, you'll have a destructive mindset. It's all about the direction of our thinking, our motivation and our intent and our why. Adding direction to focus is a wonderful thing because this is how you determine success. And it will also help the energy flow in a better way. Because effort and being motivated and determined is wonderful. But if you don't have direction, then you don't have a journey towards discovering your ultimate vision. And another thing is, we tend to get so angry when people cut us off in traffic, or if someone's slow, or if someone's rude, or we get so intertwined in like the small details. And that's when we start focusing our energy on rubbish. And that will completely derail your focus. You'll lose focus because you are so enveloped in these small minor inconveniences, and that changes your focus. It's important to have patience. So don't use your energy on rubbish, on things that don't serve you, and on things that are destructive. Deal with conflict and problems as best you can, but remember your focus on where you stand in your mindset and in the way that you process your reality can have a huge impact on where your focus goes. Remember, we run on energy frequencies. Each emotion has an energy frequency tied to it. But a high energy frequency could be excitement, but it could also be anxiety. A low frequency emotion could be depression, but it could also be meant in a very calm, relaxed state. It's all about the quality of it. And it's also about the state you reinforce, because focus is reinforced through what we attract, what we believe, what we perceive, and how we understand things. So remember, your focus has a massive impact on your journey. It determines your success moving forward. And also, if you tune up your focus a bit, you will find that if you focus on peace instead of conflict, it's much easier to center your focus. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that stunning person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.